I was intoxicated off of his manipulation. And every day I needed more of it to cure the hangover that I was left to face when he wasn't around. It wasn't that I was addicted to him. I was addicted to the chase. The chase of trying to prove to him that I was enough. Although now I know that subconsciously I was only trying to prove that to myself, but at the time, I needed his validation immensely. Being with a narcissist is like a jail sentence. You will be found guilty, he will be the victim, and anything you say can and will be used against you in the middle of an argument. He always made it seem like I was asking for too much. I was never high maintenance. He was just low effort and little participation. I mean, yeah, he gave me material, but baby, my love language is time and affection. And when it came to that, he was in an emotional poverty with nothing left to give. But you can guarantee that his hand was still out, panhandling my time, love, and sex, and I gave and gave until I ran out of each and every one of them. Nothing about him turned me on anymore. How did he expect to stimulate me sexually when he couldn't even stimulate my mind? And all of this time I thought he couldn't see my potential. But the truth is, my potential disturbed his spirit. So he tore me down and made me feel weak. He tried his best to keep me isolated, and I thought that out of embarrassment, he was hiding me from the world, but now I see that he was hiding the world from me. It was like I had given him the remote to my life. The control energized him. All in the while it was draining my soul, until the batteries died and he was left pushing buttons that no longer triggered me. He couldn't even see the wrong in himself. I don't know how I expected him to see the right in me. Every time he fucked me over, it was during a period where I was already hurting. He loved to kick me while I was down, and I use that phrase in both a physical and metaphorical sense. I refuse to call this a relationship, not even a situationship. What we had was a manipulationship, and that ship only sailed one way. It was like he was eating off of my mind, heart, and soul, as if they had become a 3-course meal for his ego. And he never wanted my love. He couldn't even understand what love was. He wanted my obedience and admiration. He wanted me to be another pawn in this sick game that he created in his mind. And I hear people say all the time that the heart is meant to be broken. But that's bullshit. The heart is meant to give and receive love. If it was meant to be broken, it wouldn't hurt as bad as it does. But where he found humor and advantage in my forgiveness, I found healing. I was a single rose, though he was never satisfied unless he had the whole bouquet. I was a rose, though he was only able to see my thorns. I was a rose, but he didn't spend enough time caring for me. I am a rose, and he forgot that roses can grow from the concrete.